I don't think we have to look as females homely
Right.
and holy. I really don't believe in that. I really believe that there is a way that you can look and still, to me personally, I don't know about anybody else, but and represent your faith and your belief.
You're listening to the Warrior Rulebook podcast with me, Monique Harmon. I love helping people express themselves, protect their peace, and be confident in being them. You may also know me as Pretty Nikki, who started her online journey as a modest fashion blogger. Now I'm an entrepreneur. You'll see through my experiences and the experiences of others that change is possible, improvement is tasty, and meaningful connection is transformational. Come on, share your story with me.
All right, everyone, welcome back to my channel, also the Warrior Rulebook podcast. Today, I am with a very talented fellow multi-passionate entrepreneur, Dawn Mattu, and she is the sole CEO of Fletcher Baines. And so I have literally sat here and watched her create different things, from head coverings to bands. She's now offering bands to go around, hats and stuff, tumblers. I have to have my tumbler because I love ice. So she also started in 2007, and it used to be called Modest Expressions Unlimited, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then she rebranded to Fletcher Baines, so that Fletcher is her dad's last name and Baines is her mom's last name. So it's a great blend of her being the offspring of her parents. So I'm so happy that you're here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really just overwhelmed with excitement that I'm actually, doing this, and got a minute to share my passion about what I love to do.
Right. So can you just tell me how you got into Modest Expressions and then switching over to Fletcher Baines?
So when I first started, I believe it was around 2007, and it was really pretty good. I got started when my mom used to sew, and my mom used to sew wedding dresses, but she didn't have the patience enough to teach me when you're the oldest of 11 and she's raising kids. So my mom didn't have that time to teach me, and she was a great seamstress, and my aunt was a great seamstress, and they used to make gorgeous wedding dresses. So I've always had it in me, and I always wanted to learn, but the thing that got me was that I wanted to learn quick. So it was really great that the church that I go to, First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ, had a sewing class on how to turn pants into skirts. So I said, oh man, this is right up my alley. Let me go. So from there, it was a very big group, and the one thing I like was Sister Boykins, Mother Giles, Sister Dunstan, and Sister Thornton were eager to, give us free lessons and to teach us on the weekends. But it got to the point where I was just moving so fast and I was making up so much stuff. And then I would just anticipate us coming that I had to go get a professional teacher. So for years, Miss Cindy, I would go to Kennett Square and learned from her for years. And then she was like, you need to go to school for this. And I was like, I don't know, kind of nervous about that, because everything I pretty much, once I was taught it, I caught on and I could actually do more things. Or if I see something, I would just go ahead and do it. So I never did go to school for it. However, I'm pretty much self-taught in some areas, and where I lack, I do go for, experienced individuals to assist me. But in saying that, I am grateful for the foundation that I had, and actually starting from the sisters and the mothers in the church. I remember Mother Giles had a sewing machine so old that I didn't know I had to use my knee in order to get it to spin. So, it was really, good, and it was also good binding. So that's where Modest Expression started. And I was mostly doing a lot of seamstress work. So I did a lot of sewing. I did a lot of that work. So as Modest Expression started to grow, I started to do dresses. I started to do skirts. I started off with skirts first because I felt like they were the easiest to do and they were fast turnover. So I was actually able to do that. But one of my biggest things that I think I can say is that for my sister's wedding, I actually made my baby sister's wedding dress, and that was just like a pure highlight for me. And I really she appreciated it, I appreciate it, and I was like, yes. But I was just so excited about that, and I was able to do that for her. Then I got, and for people were just asking me if I could actually make stuff for them, and I was like, oh, a little hesitant, but I was like, yeah, Dawn, when you first start out doing something, I can do this, I can do that, and it was just like, Dawn, you need to slow your roll and actually get it really down packed. So that's when I actually, that was one of the, I love that skirt that you're wearing right there. And I actually slowed down and I was like, okay, one thing that, really had me bothered as a small business owner, you have so much that you have to be. You have wear so many hats. You have to be the marketer. Matter of fact, you have to design the product, make the product, market the product, sell the product, ship the product, do the website. It was overwhelming. And when you ask God for something, you best be prepared. And I was saying, I want my business to flourish and grow. And I wasn't prepared for it. It was like I was getting so many orders that I couldn't keep up. So then I had to take a step back, reevaluate, look at what I needed to do and where I wanted to go. And also, if you don't have the finances to take the next jump, sometimes you got to step out on faith, because with this business, you just don't know. So, you have to take that leap of faith and say, okay, so I did step back and I reevaluated, and I actually got into doing sublimation and personalization of apparel and decor and pretty much anything I could get my hands on, because I love to learn. So that's when I got into doing more or less, I started doing the cups. I started doing tumblers. The first thing that I actually started doing were t-shirts, and people wanted personalized t-shirts for their customers. You see a lot of the bow ties. When I first started out, I was bow tying this, bow tying that, and that was really what got me going. Looking back, started with Modest Expressions Unlimited. And then that's when everything changed. And then I started to actually still keeping my bow tie line, but then I started branching out. So then I started doing more of the t-shirts, you name it. If it could be sublimated, I was trying it. And that's one thing I believe, that in business, you can't have that fear of trying something. It either works or it don't work. Like, that's how I look at it. And the one thing that happened during the pandemic is when things really started to come in effect. I started doing the mask, and from the mask, I went to the shirts. From the shirts, I went into the tumblers and the mugs. And it was just, me seeing where I want to go. The one thing about me is I truly am a one-stop shop. I do enjoy doing personalized items now for individuals. So that is what where Fletcher Baines come in. Fletcher Baines is, my dad's a Fletcher, my mother is a Baines. Usually when people see Fletcher Baines, they think of my guy and they don't know who's behind Fletcher Baines. And I'm okay with that. As long as you like my product, I am happy. So, as I said, I wear many hats, and now I'm actually getting into doing birthday parties and stuff for individuals, making personalized chip bags, personalized balloons. So, I love hosting events and doing the decor for that. So I do wear a lot of hats under Fletcher Baines, and I'm so grateful for the team and the networking and the family and the friends that I have that support me. And they were like, Dawn, you just started doing this. I'm like, I know, but I like it. I'm like, I want to do more. So now I'm starting the 30th, I will be making professional hats. I will be blocking hats. So I am so excited about that because I am in the vintage era and I love that look. And who knows, maybe I'll be doing straw hats and boater hats. So I'll be customizing them. So I'm pretty excited about that. And one thing I can honestly say is that God has provided someone with me throughout this whole process. When it leaped to Fletcher Baines and I started getting into the sublimation and I didn't know what I was doing or what I was doing, there was a mentor for me. And I would go to her house. I'm telling you, 3 to 4 times I would drive to Philly just so that I can sit and learn under her. And she was just like, I'm like, well, what can I do? She says nothing. And you know what? It's really good when someone can give you information and help you along the way and not expect anything for return. So, and the same thing happened with the hat, the lady that's teaching me how to block hats. I said, well, how much are your classes? She said, for your love of hats, I'm going to teach you what I know. And, I count that nothing but a blessing because that is one of my passions. Would I ever stop and just do hats only? Probably not.
No.
But it'd be an addition to what I have and what I do because I love customizing items for individuals.
Yeah, I love how you customize everything. That's something that definitely attracted me to your brand because when we see certain trends, whether that's in church or if it's out in the world, with people just, adopt like a fad and then like, in 2 months it's done. I like that being able to have something personalized that nobody else has, that I can just keep right on wearing and stuff like that. And I feel like in that sense, like your brand is really timeless. So could you tell me about like, how have you seen the clothing and the product-based business industry kind of evolve over time since you've started your business?
Well, for me, the one thing, because of, one thing I do stress about my business is that I try to keep it as modest as possible for my apparel clothes. I still have my MXU, like that's still for my modest expression for my clothing, but under everything is Fletcher Baines. So I technically put Fletcher Baines and then I put Modest Expressions. I flipped it and Modest Expressions underneath of it because Fletcher Baines does so much besides clothing. I just couldn't keep it at Modest Expressions Unlimited. So in saying that, for the clothing world, I really see that there are trends. It goes in and out and fades out. But once you have staple pieces, or pieces that individuals can use over and over. I personally, and it's funny that we're going over this because I was never one in the clothes and the shoes or nothing like that. Like I was the biggest tomboy ever. I didn't care if I had on, this. And now, I've seen the growth in the things that I like now and how I like a lot of, color. And for me, in my community that I grew up in, that's one thing that I see that has taken off with the colors, the prints. You don't, have to technically be in brown, blue, black, and green every day. We have more colors than that, and to brighten, and it's also how you wear your colors. And the one thing I noticed that, as time going on, I see a lot of individuals just being them. What is comfortable for them, what fits them, what they like to wear. And when we grew up, couldn't wear jean skirts in the church. You couldn't do a lot of things. And my, life is my church, my family, and my friends, to be honest. That's how my I've always been. And to me, I feel as though it has evolved in a way that there's more diversity that's available than when I started out. So I do like that's, for me, seeing is more of the diversity and more access to clothes that I would appreciate and I would like others to appreciate as well. I'm currently, one thing that really was bothering me are casual, cute clothes. for individuals that are in my circle. So, or anybody, is that, just being able to put on a sweaty and a hoodie with a nice, knitted skirt and rock some sneakers with that. That's how, just looking cute and casual. But, because I don't wear pants, I don't sell pants for women. So, that's one thing I was doing was the sweatshirts with the sweat skirts, so that it was like, you had the whole ensemble and it was cute. So I don't know if I'll get back into that, because the custom personalization has taken over a lot of my business, but I'm looking forward, to bringing some stuff out in the fall.
Yeah, I definitely remember that too, because you made me like a royal blue sweat skirt. I don't know if you remember that, but I just remember just being that young and just being like, wow, like this is really transformational, because you definitely fill the gap then, and then you filled it now in terms of like where people can go for nice, modest clothing, because, we try to go to stores and stuff. It was a horrible history. I try not to look back at it because it was so bad when I was young. Like we really could not find anything. And then, I started getting feedback that I started looking like the middle-aged people. I'm only like 16 or 15. So, it would have been nice like to have somewhere to go to for customize, even though you weren't at that point yet in your business. But yeah, definitely still thank God for you, because with what you had at the time that you were able to offer us, we were able to still look, new and updated in terms of fashion and stuff.
And that's what I think. I don't think we have to look as females homely.
Right.
And holy. I really don't believe in that. I really believe that there is a way that you can look and still, to me personally, I don't know about anybody else, but and represent your faith and your belief. To me, you can rock something that's real cute. Like I work out a lot, and one thing about me and all my friends now, I don't care what people think. I'm going to the gym in my skirt and I'm getting ready to work out. So, for me, when I have a nice little matching shirt and I have a nice skirt and everything is matching, it makes me feel a little bit more assured about I'm not just going out looking a hot mess, So for me, I believe that it is a way that you can bring out and you can wear stuff, and everybody is different. Even though, some of us share the same beliefs, I may not wear what you like to wear, but yet it fits you. It's you. I know that's your style. I know that you will look really good because you can really wear that well. And you look good, So I think the diversity is what I really like seeing of individuals and as they're coming up. And the only thing that I can say that I would love for God to bless me with is a skill to help the young girls with cute, like, outfits, dresses that are like age appropriate for them. That's one thing that's been on my mind. And I'm like, just so that they can, want to go play soccer, they can play soccer. They can play, these sports and wear, and still be dressed. So, I coach track in a skirt. And they all know that I could still, roll like, that's just me. But everybody, may not be at that level, but I would like to offer that for our young girls. I just am grateful and thankful. I'm grateful and thankful for, the people that I wouldn't even think would support me, being a small, it's not easy. It is far from easy. It's a lot of mistakes. It's a lot of things that, you just be like, Lord, just, you be up 5, 6 in the morning, trying to get stuff done. So it's a lot of work. And then the most important is when I see the smile and the appreciation of an individual, or I go somewhere and I see someone wearing something I made, like it just does me, it just warms my heart. I'll be like,
Do you have any advice for somebody that is looking to start a business, but they're multi-passionate and they don't really know what to focus on?
Focus. I'm wrong for saying it because I do so much, but that is true. Like I have, and I wear, and I do so much. Also delegating, also having a team. You need a team that's going to be able to go out. And, you're going to need someone to help you with your marketing. You're going to need someone that's going to actually help you to make your product. I had to call in my sister and my mom. It was that bad. When the mask situation was going on, I was doing over 400 masks a week. And
Wow.
my mom and sister just came over and helped me, which was a blessing. So what I'm saying is that it's very important that you have a team, and also that you do your research on the products that you want to sell. You can have your hands in a lot of stuff, but are you going to be able to manage it? And I think that's the biggest thing.
Right. So where can everybody find you?
They can find me on FletcherBaines.com is my website. And they can also find me on Instagram, Fletcher Baines, and also social media, Fletcher Baines.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Mr. Dawn.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Warrior Rulebook podcast. If you like what you heard, share it with a friend and join me over at the Warrior Rulebook Podcast Insider group on Facebook. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more tips on how to be resilient in this world.